1 out of 691 births, a baby is born with Down syndrome. 6,000 babies are born each year in the United States with Down syndrome. Leading us to ask the question, what causes Down syndrome? Five years ago, when my wife Stephanie gave birth to Faith, our daughter who was born with Down syndrome, we asked the same questions. We typed in Google, what causes Down syndrome? But the question wasn't really fitting to what our brain and what our heart was asking. See, we were looking for answers. We were looking for a solution. We wanted a reason. We wanted to understand, why was this happening? What did we do? What did we do wrong? See, I see it this way. If you look at Down syndrome, you're looking for an answer. So you put it in a formula, okay? Go with me. If you have Down syndrome here, okay, this is the answer. This is, if it's a formula, this is the solution. You have to figure out what are the variables here. So you have Down syndrome equals XY plus XX. But there's a problem. See, this formula doesn't make sense. This formula doesn't always get Down syndrome. And if you take that Down syndrome out and you have XY plus XX, you really get baby, right? See, that's what we had. We had this confusion. We didn't know what to do because the formula wasn't making sense. We didn't know what caused this. And so we looked at the scientific answers. We looked for the medical answers. We looked for the researchers. We needed to know why this was happening. But I have something to tell you. If you take this formula and bring it back here, and you look at this formula, and you dwell in this formula, and you try to figure out this formula, it's just going to drive you nuts. You're going to lead into an area that you just don't know. You're just confused. And so this is what I would do. I would take this formula and just move it out. Because I'll just leave you, that formula will just bring you to a lot of stress and worry. And what I have to tell you is I want to encourage you. That's why I'm bringing this video. I want to encourage you. I want to tell you that there is hope.
So quick.
I want to tell you that even though you're in the moment right now, and maybe you just were diagnosed with your baby's going to be born with Down syndrome, or you just delivered your child and you found out the doctors came in, they broke that news to you, the famous, your baby is Down syndrome. Wherever you are in this scenario, I want to give you encouragement. 6,000 babies are born each year with Down syndrome. That's 500 babies born each month in the United States. And you might be one of them. So I want to come to you and I want to share with you, if you're asking the question, what causes Down syndrome? And you're asking because you're looking for whose fault is it? Or who to blame? And if you're anything like me and anything like my wife, Stephanie, you were in that boat, or you are in that boat. And I want to reassure you, while there is a solution and there is some explanation to what causes Down syndrome, it is not because you did something wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. It's not your fault. It's not a blame game. But I do want to encourage you. I want to encourage you and hopefully motivate you, inspire you in this journey. So I want to come in this journey and encourage you. I want to lift you up. I want to give you this hope that maybe you do not have right now, and tell you that as an experienced father to a Down syndrome little girl, there is hope. It might be a little cloudy right now, but trust me, as you move on in the process and as you grow, you will learn to have the joy. So here's what I would like to say to you. In this process, there's 5 things. 1, Your baby is still your baby. He or she is your baby. It is your child. Enjoy that child. I know the diagnosis might have come in and they might have said your baby's going to be born with Down syndrome, or the doctor came into your room after the birth and said, hey, your baby is Down syndrome. Whatever has happened, I want to tell you and reassure you that your baby is beautiful. Your baby is loved. Your baby is unique. Yes, different, but different's not bad. Abnormal is not bad. It just allows you to see in a whole different light. This is your baby. Value that baby. Treasure that baby. Number 2, enjoy the present. I know this might seem a little weird to some degree. In fact, you're looking at it and saying, do you understand where I'm at right now? I actually do. I personally do. Having a daughter that went through that went through open heart surgery, we went through all the testing, we went through all these scenarios. And sure, it's not the same scenario as your child. No child is going to have the same scenario, but I can understand the emotions, the feelings. And I want to tell you right now, enjoy the present moment. There are moments in this time where you're holding your child, or you are in the NICU and it's just you and that child, that baby, that girl, the boy, or maybe it's your husband or your wife with you. Enjoy that present moment because you'll never have it again. It might be difficult. I understand. But enjoy the moment. Enjoy the present. And if you were going to throw a shower and throw a party, do it. Don't change your plans. Still do it. Because there's nothing different except for the fact you're just going to see the whole world in a different light. Number 3, avoid isolation. I know it's going to be so easy to just run and hide from everybody. But there's so many people that love you, so many people that care for you, so many people that want to help you. And trust me, you're not a burden. I know that's the thing that goes to your head. You're not a burden. People love you. Your friends, your family, your neighbors, your coworkers. Allow them to come into your life. Allow them to serve you. Allow them to help you, because you're going to build some great relationships, and there's people that are willing and wanting to help, and they don't know what to do. Allow them. It's going to benefit not only you, but it's going to benefit your child too in the long run. So don't go and hide. Don't go in your closet. Don't go and bury your head in the corner of the room, thinking that everything's just going to go away. Deal with the emotions. Deal with everything in the present. And don't avoid the relationships. Avoid being isolated. And number 4, control is really overrated. I personally understand that, being a guy and wanting to solve all the solutions or all the problems that the world hands you. And Faith, our daughter, was born with Down syndrome, and she was our first child. And so me being a new dad, I wanted to control everything. I was a competitive athlete. I was coaching, all these things, and I wanted to control the situation. I wanted to grab the bull by the horns and just throw it down on the ground. But the problem was I couldn't. I couldn't change anything. And the more that I learned to be vulnerable enough to allow my own ego to be put aside and realize I can't control everything, the more my wife and I connected, the more that we enjoyed even the hardships, and the more that we counted the blessings in the good times. Don't control everything. There are some things you can't control, and that's okay. Go ahead and do what you need to do. But there are certain things on the medical side, the behavior side, you just can't control. You can't control the outcome. All you can do is roll with the punches, stick close to your spouse, stick close to your family, friends, whoever it may be, and just roll. It's a journey. Buckle up. Lastly, but definitely not least, welcome to the fraternity. Yes, you've just entered the fraternity, what we call the Down syndrome fraternity, where you have brothers and sisters all over the world that will bend over backwards to help you. parents and even grandparents and extended family that will give an arm and a leg to help you. We want to reach out to you. We want to tell you it's going to be tough, it's going to be hard, but you can get through it. It is your child, there is a joy in it, and if you need someone to talk to us. If you see us at the grocery store, come up, introduce yourself. Just tell us your story, and we will stop and listen. I guarantee you, and I can't say for all parents, but the majority of us parents will give anything to help you because we understand what you're going through. We went through it. So please let us help you. There are so many websites, so much information out there that all you're left to do is have the head knowledge. And what we want to do is help your heart. Because you have a very special child. A child that wants to be loved, a child that wants to be cared for, and we want to help you. So reach out to us. You are part of the family, a part of the fraternity of Down syndrome. Welcome.